Good morning. It is the 5th of November. Welcome to our Friday edition of GMNC. I'm Taryn Woods, your anchor for this morning's show. First up, today's lineup is Tony Subramony with a daily dose of inspiration to take us into the weekend, followed by the weather and surf report with Heili and Deon from Victory Surf. GMNC sport anchor Matt Williams brings us all things sport compliments of Hunt Properties. And then I head into an interview with Steve Bezuidenhout from Hydrapower Hydraulics. Valerie Pillay from Robert's Chaplin Krona joins next, and today we speak about the responsibilities of directors of SME companies. Our Friday entertainment segment with Sturgeon is up next, and she chats to local musician Rowan Stuart before giving us a lowdown on her weekend vibes. Rowan Stuart closes off the show with this week with a reminder that Laugh Out Larry is on after this show. We just want to say thank you so much to all our sponsors, Jura Coffee and Saltra Coffee, and all our water. Thank you so much for all our sponsors. We're going to go into an ad break, and then followed by the ad break, we've got the surf and weather report. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Belito Gas and Brian. Verskoon asseblief ook lyk en klink vandag. Dit is nou wat gebeur as jy om een te veel kat is, die aand voor jy moet weer skep. Nietemin, so 'n bietjie wakers vandag, maar ons wing it. Today will be mostly cloudy with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 20 degrees. The real feel will be 31 degrees and the real feel shade 26 degrees. We have a south-southeasterly wind at 11 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 24 kilometers per hour. Also 25% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 4:59 a.m. and the sunset at 6:20 p.m. It's a sunny day on Saturday, then turning cloudy with a passing shower or two in the afternoon, with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 20 degrees. And then Sunday, low clouds with occasional rain in the afternoon as well, with a high of 24 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. So maak maar gebruik van Netflix hierdie naweek, asseblief. Pretoria, meestal bewolk vandag and breezy in the afternoon with a high of 33 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. And then Joburg, mostly cloudy and becoming breezy in the afternoon with a thunderstorm and a high of 29 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. And then Cape Town, cloudy in the morning with sun and clouds in the afternoon with a high of 18 degrees and a low of 14 degrees. Next up will be your surf report brought to you by 1018 Skryfbehoeftes and Deon from Victory Surf. Enjoy your weekend and we'll see you on Monday.
Good morning, Belito, and welcome to Friday morning's beach report and an overview for the weekend. And we got a cracker weekend ahead. Today's a beautiful beach day with 24-25 degree weather and lovely light offshores this morning, and then variable winds this afternoon, going into a southwesterly this evening, and a little bit of rain overnight, and really good surf conditions for the whole of Saturday with an offshore breeze the whole day. The peach of the weekend is Sunday. Sunday is an absolute cracker with very light variable winds, 25 degrees, clear skies, and great surf. Enjoy your weekend, guys. We're out there for a really good one. We're heading into summer. Remember your sunblock and be safe out there. It's going to be a good one.
Welcome back to our Good Morning North Coast show. First of all, I want to say thank you so much to all our viewers. Thank you to Marissa Skalkenkopers for joining in this morning. With me in studio, I've got our famous Tony Subramony. Tony, welcome.
Thanks, Taryn.
It's so good having you here again
Great.
with me.
Yeah.
Tony, what is our daily inspiration?
Yeah, thanks, Taryn. I just want to share this with the viewers, and we've got a little task that we're going to take you to the weekend.
Yes.
It is very common that we're constantly in conflict. But the reality about it is that we're not in conflict with the economy. We're not in conflict with anyone else but ourselves. Our ego plays havoc every day of our lives. And we're constantly comparing ourselves and looking at making things better for ourselves. And the reality about it all is that we're constantly reaching out for something better and something new and something more amazing. And we forget where we need to find it. So today I want to talk about 3 very, very powerful words. I am enough.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's such powerful words, but we so often overlook it. We so often do not realize the potential it has, and we so often do not realize how powerful these words are to create the balance in our lives. Now, many of us have experienced some traumatic experiences over the past few months to lockdown and COVID and what have you. And it's taught us many, many lessons. Taryn, what happens is that we've been taught wrongly in order to look for what we want on the outside rather than looking at what we want on the inside. Right? The miracles you're searching for is within you. The authenticity of yourself is within you. So I want to encourage viewers to take this journey inward rather than outward. And it's so important that when you start to say these words every day, I am enough, eventually it resonates with you to such a powerful extent that you will realize that you are enough. You don't need to compare to anyone else. You don't need to be in competition with yourself anymore. And you don't need to get involved with this conflict with your ego all the time. And the moment you start saying it, and the moment you start appreciating it, and the moment you start embracing these words, you feel so much better. Right? And I've tried it a long time ago, and I realized that it was kind of strange at the beginning because I was not used to it. But as I got used to this and it became part of my belief system, I felt that I needed to nothing else for the day except to understand and acknowledge and accept that I am enough. Whatever you have, wherever you are, and whatever you actually experience is enough for you right now. When you start to see that in the power that it's meant to be in that way, you're actually able to fulfill your purpose in life, right? Your self-confidence increases, your self-esteem increases, your whole personality increases, and it starts to glow and grow. And what else are you giving the world? You're giving the world permission to recognize you for who you are. And that is so important because when you start to put that out and you're giving that energy that I am enough, the world will salute you. And that's what we need to take out of this whole talk that I'm giving this morning. And I want to encourage the viewers for this weekend to get this little posted stickers and write it out in colorful print, in large print, and put this out at every strategic point in your house. I've got one on my dashboard in the car, right? And I constantly just recognize the importance of it, and I keep saying, I am enough.
That's brilliant.
It prevents us from having to be anyone else but ourselves. So I want to encourage the viewers this morning for the weekend to get these stickers, put them out there, and we don't have to answer to the world as to why we've got this all over the place. Put it in your mirror in the bathroom, put it in your bedroom, put it in your dining room, wherever you can see these things, on your microwave oven. When you're putting something,
That's the best place,
yes,
isn't it? You've got
right?
no excuse.
Put it on your fridge door. I am enough. And the power that it will start to give you is absolutely amazing. And that's what's going to allow people to grow out of the lockdown that we've been through, grow out of all of this kind of tragic experiences that some have been through, and start to recognize our true potential. That's my message for this morning.
I absolutely love it. What a powerful message, and what a way to end off the week, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
I
having
am
me.
enough. It's really such a
Amen.
powerful message.
Absolutely.
And it's something we should all embrace and live by, isn't it?
3 powerful words. I am enough.
I love it. On that note, we are all enough. Please embrace it. We're going to head off to an ad break, and after the ad, we've got Matt Williams for our sports segment.
Freshly ground, not capsuled. Coffee pleasure from Euro.
This sports segment is proudly brought to you by Hunt Properties. Morning, sports fans. Let's kick it off with some football news. And Tottenham Hotspur's players have a great opportunity to work under new manager Antonio Conte, but the Italian's arrival means expectations have been raised even higher at the club. Captain Hugo Lloris said Conte, who previously managed Juventus, Chelsea and Inter Milan, as well as the Italian national team, was appointed to replace Nuno Espirito Santo after the Portuguese manager was fired after just 17 matches in charge. And selected fixtures to look forward this weekend. Tonight at 10 p.m. at Southampton against Aston Villa, and selected matches from Saturday at 2:30. It's the United Derby, or the Manchester Derby should I say, as Man United host Man City. At 5 p.m. it's Chelsea against Burnley, and the late game at 7:30, Brighton host Newcastle United. Some matches to look forward to on Sunday at 4 p.m. it's Arsenal against Watford. Also at 4 p.m. Everton host Spurs, and at 6:30 it's West Ham against Liverpool. Moving to some local football news now, and Mamelodi Sundowns co-coach Rulani Mokoena has heaped praise on his side after they set a new DStv Premiership record of 11 clean sheets in a row on Wednesday's 1-0 home win over Maritzburg United. The clean sheet beats the previous record of 10 set by Roger de Sa's Wits University at the start of the 2003-04 campaign. Toboho Mokoena was the last player to score against Sundowns in the league when he netted a consolation goal in a 3-1 loss for SuperSport United in May. It has now been more than 17 hours of football since Sundowns last conceded. In selected fixtures in the DStv Premiership coming up tonight at 5 p.m. it's SuperSport against TX Galaxy. On Saturday, a big one to look forward to at 3:30. It's a Soweto derby as Kaizer Chiefs host Pirates. At 5 p.m. it's Stellenbosch United against Golden Arrows. Matches to look forward to on Sunday. Two matches kicking off at 3:30. It's Chippa United against Maritzburg United and Royal AM against Baroka FC. In the late game at 5:30, it's Marumo Galaxy against Sundowns. Moving to some rugby news now, and he hasn't started a test on the wing since Wellington in 2018, but Jesse Kriel has spent enough time in training in the position for him to feel confident that he will take like a duck to water when the Springboks face Wales in their first autumn international in Cardiff on Saturday. Kriel's selection on the right wing is in the absence of Spoon Corsi, who is still trying to get around some visa issues, was one of two surprise changes from Jacques Nienaber's selection for the Principality Stadium game. The other being one of Damien Willemse ahead of experienced fullback Willie Leroux. That game getting underway at 7:30, Wales against the Springboks, and a host of other international matches coming up on Saturday. Two matches to look forward to at 3 p.m. as Ireland host Japan and Italy host the All Blacks. At 5:15 it's England against Tonga, and then at 10 p.m. it's France against Argentina. On Sunday at 4:15 Scotland host the Wallabies. Moving to some cricket news now and some results from the T20 World Cup yesterday. Australia absolutely thrashing Bangladesh and going ahead of the Proteas into second position, while Sri Lanka eliminated the West Indies with their win by 20 runs. Into matches to look forward to today at 12 p.m. it's New Zealand against Namibia, and at 4 p.m. it's India against Scotland. The Proteas again in action on Saturday as they tackle England, a must-win game at 4 p.m. and before that at 12 it's Australia against the West Indies. And finally, some Formula One news. Lewis Hamilton will be hoping his Mercedes team have overcome the occasional altitude sickness this weekend as he bids to beat Red Bull's Max Verstappen at the Mexican Grand Prix. The defending 7-time world champion, who's bidding to overhaul the Dutchman's 12-point advantage in the Drivers' Championship, knows he needs to respond after losing to his rival in Texas last month. With 5 races to go, both men will be seeking their third win in 5, the Mexican outing since 2016 in the rarefied atmosphere at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, which is 2,285 meters above sea level and is frequently a place of high drama. of course, that one gets underway. The main race on Sunday at 9 p.m., the Mexican Grand Prix. At Williams for Good Morning North Coast Sport. You have yourself an awesome sporting weekend, and we'll catch you back here on Monday.
At Dom's B&B is a proud sponsor of the Vinci International Film Academy Awards. Situated in Ballito on the stunning Dolphin Coast, At Dom's B&B is an exquisite luxury 6-bedroom guest house that can accommodate 14 to 16 people. At Dom's B&B we are practically on the foot of the ocean. With us being so close to the sea, we have sounds of waves echoing in the ears of our guests.
The winners of the Best Director Award will each win a one-night stay for two at Dom's B&B to the value of R1,750.
Welcome back to our Good Morning North Coast show. With me in studio, I've got Steve Bezuidenhout from Hydrapower Hydraulics. Steve, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing,
Good,
Taryn?
and yourself?
Good, man.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Steve, for those that don't know, what is Hydrapower Hydraulics?
We started under lockdown level 4 last year in Ballito, new town, new business, and it's a hydraulics company, primarily to serve the local agricultural community, plant and civils companies. And we've kind of grown it from there. We've expanded and diversified into further products. We now do power equipment, power tools. We're agents for Metabo Power Tools. We're agents for Briggs & Stratton Power Products. And we're just trying to grow an array of products that would cover all of our current local clients' needs, yeah.
But how amazing to start in a level 4 lockdown.
Wasn't
it a bit daunting?
I think we all had our battle to fight, but it's been a challenge. But
Jeepers.
18 months later, we're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's absolutely amazing. Not many people can say that. I think I was interviewing another lady as well that made this massive business out of a small lockdown concept.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fabulous.
Yeah, it's come from an old family brand.
Yes.
My father-in-law started the hydraulics company 20 years ago in a little country town in Newcastle.
Okay.
And I just took the concept and replicated it in Ballito.
So you kind of rebranded the whole business. And the
Absolutely.
whole...
Yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely fabulous.
So what we've done in the last week is we've decided to rebrand the company, and we've taken the hydraulics out of the name, and we've just gone with Hydrapower,
Yes.
given the product package that we've put together. And I think it's a lot more attractive as a brand, and we'll be launching that brand over the next week.
Congratulations and all the best with that launch.
Thank you so
and,
much.
how can we reach out to you? How can we get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we're in 8A Kailami Park. We're nice and central in Ballito. We go out to our clients for collections and repairs and deliveries, and we've got a website. It's very basic at the moment, but we're busy launching a full e-commerce site that'll be up and running in about 3 weeks.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And other than that, 8A Kailami Park, and
Absolutely amazing.
yeah, we'll...
That is fabulous, guys. 8 Kailami Park.
That's
Please
it.
give Steve a call.
Thank you
and
very
is there
much.
anything else specific that you want our viewers to know?
Well, yeah, we've as of this morning, we've just launched a partnership with Holler Trails, Ballito.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, we've put into a sponsorship with them, a paid sponsorship,
Yeah.
and we're branding our company through them. We'll be their official maintenance partner.
Oh, fantastic.
So they'll be running trail updates with our branding and that kind of thing. We'll be supporting them on the trails and maintenance of hollow trails through our companies. That's going to be quite exciting.
I'm sure there are some very excited athletes listening to this.
Absolutely.
So if you've got any problems with maintenance, you know who to call and who's responsible.
There we go.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So that's something exciting, and we'll give the viewers more about that next week.
Oh, awesome, Steve. Well, listen, amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And Steve, so the move to Ballito, have you found it to be a much better move for the company as well?
It's a very tight-knit community. It takes a bit of time to build trust, but they're very accommodating. People are very helpful and friendly, and yeah, so far it's been good. We came from Hillcrest. I came from a very strong sales background in the corporate world, so for me it was an easy change.
Jeez, that's fabulous. And so good to hear that everyone's been so welcoming for you guys.
Absolutely.
And is there any collaborations that we could hint for the viewers to come and contact you for?
No, absolutely. We're looking for interior designers that we'd like to partner with our Power Tool brands. Paid sponsorships and ambassadorships we're open to. So yeah, we'd love to be approached like that. Yeah.
Please help Steve and give him a call. I mean, guys, just for starting in a lockdown level 4 to take it to where it's been. I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. So interior designers, we need you on board, and there are many of you watching, and we know a few as well. So we're going to have to push those buttons for you, Steve.
I think we should. Thank you so much, Taryn. Yes.
No, it's only a pleasure. Thank you for joining us in studio this morning, Steve.
Thanks for
having me.
having
And like I
me.
said, next week you're in studio again, and then obviously
We'll take it further from there.
Amazing. Please tune in next week. And contact details to contact you.
Yeah, at the moment we're just running from our cell number. We've got 082 827 4762. It is on our social media platforms. We are on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. We're pretty active there, so feel free to follow us on the socials.
Please follow them on socials. There's absolutely no reason for you not to. They've got a whole host of platforms in order for you guys to contact Hydraulic Power on. Please, please, please.
Good.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Steve,
so much,
for
Taryn.
being in studio today. Guys, keep a lookout. They've rebranded Holler Athletes. Please keep a lookout for your newly maintained track. We're going to go into an ad break, and after the ad break, I'll be chatting to Valerie Pillay from Robert's Chaplin, Krona.
At 1018 Skryfbehoeftes Ballito, we offer an array of convenience services for our clients. With an in-store fully operational business center, under one roof, 1018 Skryfbehoeftes Bellito is fully stocked with all your leading stationery brands. Proudly Bellito for Bellito.
Welcome back to our Good Morning North Coast show. With me in studio, I've got Valerie Pillay from Robert's Chaplin, Krona. Valerie, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so lovely having you in studio.
Oh, thank you for having me here today.
No, thank you. So I know we've got a host of questions to get through, and I think this is such an interesting topic, especially for our SMEs out there. So our burning question, Valerie, after seeing directors failing in their duties in the media, like the Steinhoff case, can they be held accountable?
Directors, we need to understand that directors are appointed by law.
Yes.
And they are entrusted to make sure that the company is running well. They need due care and skill in doing this. They are also obligated to run the company with the best interest of the company at heart.
Okay.
And they fail because they don't put the best interest of the company at heart. They do their own things, their personal gains, and hence they fail. Then the other reason is they conduct the business recklessly and not for the benefit of the shareholders, and also the defraud creditors, shareholders, and other employees.
Yes.
So this happens, then they are personally liable.
Okay.
Generally, they're not liable for the debts of a company, but in those instances, they definitely will be held liable. Okay. And also when they issue false statements, financial statements that are false, on which people are relying on, investing people's monies. So that's when
where it all comes from and how the run-on effect.
So Steinhoff was that case where they had their personal interest and issued false statements.
False statements, yes. Oh, wow. Yeah. And then how are SME directors and listed company directors different?
Well, you must remember the SME directors is just your owners, right?
Yes.
The one-man band wants to form a business, but they end up in a company.
Okay.
And they don't have any formal training on how to be a director.
Okay.
You must remember that for them, the Companies Act, they haven't even seen it. Yet it's a Bible for a director.
Okay,
and they don't have these knowledge of what to do, what compliance. So they have to come to Robertson, Chaplin, Krona, or some other accountants to guide them in their processes and how to conduct certain things.
To conduct it. And then, so highlight some of the areas or key responsibilities.
I would say broadly there's two broad areas. The first area is business performance,
yes.
and the second one is compliance.
Okay.
The first one, business performance, is basically making sure that the company is making profits, growing, and is sustainable for the future. I mean, look at COVID was a classic example. A lot of small businesses folded. And the reason for that is because the owner-managed businesses, the small guys, they tend to be too much on the factory floor, operational, they're acting an employee, and generally they should have two hats to wear. One is strategic planning, taking the company to the future, goal setting, putting structures in place. But they fail to do that because they're on the factory floor. And I think that's why they tend to fail and they cannot keep up to date when new things come into play.
Which makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be up to date with all of that in order to make
and
things
you know,
work.
you need to put cash flows, forecasts, budgets, know what products you're going to change, and they just sometimes lose sight of it because they're so into the business rather than they work top of the business rather into the business.
Into the business.
Yes.
Valerie, and then, I mean, obviously we all love to know, financial statements, do they need to be audited?
Financial statements, generally for the small SME companies, they would not reach a 350 point, okay? So they won't need an audit. When you say 350 points, it's generally the, where you've got a public interest score of 350 points.
Okay.
This public interest score is generally with 1 point for a shareholder, then they count the point for an employee, for each employee. So if you've got 20 employees, that's 20 points. Okay. And if you have 100 shareholders, it's 100 points. Oh. And then you have liabilities, third-party liabilities. You get a point for each R1 million of liability. So you get a point for that, and also shareholders.
Wow.
So there's a lot of those things are taken into account, and if you had reached 350, then you are definitely in the
entitled
audit.
to be audited.
So the other thing is independent reviews, right? Most of them fall into those categories. Your accountant or your lawyers will tell you, you know what, for estate planning, you must form a family trust, and then you will put your business into family trust, and the family trust must own shares in the business. And then these require an audit because you're not owner managed anymore. The beneficiaries are different from the trustees. They're not running the business. So therefore you need an independent review, which is less costly than an audit.
An audit.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I'm sure
Yeah.
many people's ears were tingling over there. I mean, what are the consequences of loans to directors?
Well, with directors, I think the owners in SME markets are they think that's their money. They can just take money out of the business without thinking, you know what, they need to look at certain consequences. The first thing is maybe you're not a sole director, a sole shareholder, but you are with another person. And before you as a director take that loan, you need to get consent of the other person and then advance that money. The other concern to worry about is the Companies Act requires that you need to be solvent and liquid, meaning you need to have the financial resources to make this loan to yourself. Because you can't go and take the money when there's no profits, and you can't take money when you have to borrow the money to lend on to yourself. You're putting the company into a financial strain, and that could have dire consequences for the company. So definitely they, in that regard. The other thing is dividends. Shareholders think that's their money, they just can take it. But they forget, again, you need to have the financial resources within your company. And one key condition is that the company needs to be solvent and liquid. So they need to be up to date with their financial statements to determine if somebody had to ask them, you know what, or the court had to test it, are they solvent and liquid? You need to know that there's your resources, there's your financial statements proving that, and you can stand your case.
Going there, yes.
Yes.
And then are there any other compliance requirements that we should be aware of?
Okay. With regard to companies, they have to prepare financial statements in terms of IFRS for SME. Okay, for the small companies. And this is a very onerous requirement. They generally don't understand what is IFRS for SME. They need to have an accountant who understands this to draw up these financial statements. Generally, the SME market, they don't have accountants, they don't have bookkeepers who even can do a decent set of records. So it's important that they have accountants. And then the other thing is that they need to come to the accountants timeously with these financial statements, because they need to prepare it within 6 months of the year end. So it's very important that they do that.
Yes. Valerie, this has been so informative. We thank you kindly for taking time out of your morning to come onto our show and to inform the public all about everything to know for the directors and the SMEs. Thank you so very, very much. We wish you a beautiful weekend and hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
It's only a pleasure. We're going to go into a quick ad break, and then after the ad break, we've got a pre-recorded interview with Zoe, who interviews Rowan Stuart via Zoom. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about Pillay Fuel's program that empowers your small business or your family through a cashback benefit on your monthly fuel spend? I'm excited to tell you that no matter what the size of your small business fleet or the number of cars in your family, all you need to do is simply refuel your vehicle at participating BP service stations countrywide, and the saving of 70 cents per litre on diesel and 13 cents per litre on petrol can be yours. There are no credit checks because the program follows a prepaid model. And voila! Let me show you how easy it is. To sign up, visit www.finlayfuel.co.za. Upon completion of your sign-up, you will receive an SMS notification confirming your membership. Arrive at the BP forecourt, identify yourself as a Finlay Fuel client. Enter your secure PIN into the terminal handed to you by the attendant. The attendant will scan your BP Fleet Move tag and a pre-authorization slip will be issued. Fuel will then be dispensed and a real-time SMS notification will be sent to you confirming the transaction. And off you go.
Good morning, North Coast, and welcome. I am so lucky, and I've been trying to get this artist down to sit with me for quite some time now. So we are extremely lucky to have the very talented Rowan Stuart, not necessarily in Stuart, but certainly taking advantage of our technology. Welcome, Rowan.
Thank you very much. It's so nice to be here virtually with you.
Yes, we've played for at least a dozen or so of your music videos over the course of the last few months. So it's actually nice to get to chat to the man behind everything, which is super duper exciting. And obviously I've known you for quite a few years now, that we've been bumping into each other on the scene, as it were. Though I've pulled away in recent years, what with having kids, but you have been very busy. But let's get to present news in a minute. I'd like to go back in time a bit. So before I knew you, so the things that I don't necessarily know about you, the music industry, where did the passion for music start?
Okay, well, I come from a family of musicians. My mum and dad were performing music before I was born, so and they were doing gigs even while my mom was heavily pregnant with me. So she was playing bass guitar, and I think maybe subconsciously all the music started to sink in. But then I was born, and up until the age of about 11, all I was interested in was actually drawing and doing like visual art. And they thought that there was no musical gene passed on to me. But at the age of about 11, I picked up a guitar and started learning a few chords and things. And I was really, really amazed at how immediate it was to create something. Because when you have to sit and draw, it takes a lot of time, and then it's just one thing. Whereas with the guitar, if I constructed something with a few chords and a melody, it was like the opening window to this new world that I could then create and share with other people, and I absolutely fell in love with it from that point onwards.
That's incredible, and it probably was subconscious. I know I was pregnant with both of my kids and still gigging and leaping around on stages like a monkey, and I think that it definitely has a lot to do with the same thing with me when I was little. Okay, now let's talk about, obviously, the music video we're going to be playing later today, Survivors. And obviously we spoke about the reason we're picking that one is because it was obviously your most successful song, but that was only done a few years ago, am I right? It's one of your more popular ones, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2018 now.
But obviously a lot happened between the age of, what you say, about 11 or 12 and 2018. I mean, the journey to get to that point it's people don't, I think, realize how hard musicians have to work to get to that point.
Yeah, so and one of my main issues was that I took well to the guitar, and I became a sort of session musician, sought after session musician for theatre musical productions, and I had a high school band called Sinosha. But and it was a lot of fun and great experience. And with these theatre shows, I would be kind of doing a tribute to the music of Elvis or Chaplin or Krona. But the whole time I really wanted to tell my own story, because I was like a natural storyteller, and I had these ideas and concepts that I wanted to put out in the world. So in 2007, I kind of I stepped away from everything, the band and the theatre productions and the sketching work, and decided to focus on my own solo album. And I released my first of 6 solo albums in 2008.
Wow, and I'm pretty sure I remember that. I think one of the first places I bumped into you was that little market in Durban close to the stadium. I remember the Stables. Was it called the Stables? I'm pretty sure I'm sure that was one of the first places I saw you years ago, because we were both kind of frequenting the similar kind of stages, which is so exciting. Yes, and you might not remember this, but my dad brought it to my attention some years ago that we actually share a birthday. We're both on the 27th of June. That's something I always remember about you, because we bumped into each other on our collective birthday over a gig. I think it was in Salt Rock at the Lychee Orchard. And that's always just one of those things about you that I've remembered, so I could absolutely never forget you, which is so exciting. So that brings us up to slightly more recent history. Now, obviously a lot has happened in the last 1.5, 2 years because of COVID, and I suppose a lot did have to get stopped and put on hold. Did you find it affected you a lot?
Well, definitely. I had taken a little bit of a hiatus from national touring, and then 2020 was meant to be the year that I started touring again, and I had planned this national tour around the release of my 6th album called A Matter of Forever. And it was literally, I was going to head off on tour in April, and in March, everything just came to a grinding halt. It was that awkward thing where, for the months leading up to the tour, it's like, is this going to happen? Is it not? And then, email conversations, guys, I don't know if this tour is going to happen or not. And that was pretty disruptive. And then from that point onwards, there was, as there was for probably everyone in the world, at least a few months of complete uncertainty, not knowing, if I would still have the chance to perform a career, like have a career in live performances, and when that was going to pick up again. So some venues have been fantastic, and your guys' local lifestyle center, Bellito, was one of the kind of shining lights, in that they were booking artists even during difficult times and still keeping the music going. So that we're very grateful for that. And yeah, live performances haven't picked up to the point that they were prior to lockdown, but it's getting there. And yeah, I've just used the opportunity to write a lot of music. In the time I filmed my first short film and released an EP. And now I'm working on a whole bunch of new material since then.
Oh, wow. I knew nothing about this short film. I'm so glad you brought it up. That's so exciting. If people want to see this short film, obviously I had no idea that you're throwing me off the loop here. Where can people find this? Has it been released yet?
Yes. So I released it a few months ago, actually, earlier this year. And it's it's a strange concept, and I'll try and explain it as sort of easily and simply as possible, because it's quite confusing. But so I created an instrumental piano EP called Instrumagica.
Yes.
A complete departure from anything that I had released or done before. And then it felt like, in order for it to make sense to people, I needed to put some accompanying visuals.
Yes.
And then what could have been just another music video turned into 6 music videos that are linked together continuously to create one short film. And that short film called Instrumagica is available on my YouTube channel, and it's a bit harder to find on my Facebook page, but it is there as well. So it's called Rowan, Stuart, Instrumagica, the short film.
Wow, I'm definitely going to go have a look at that. That's so exciting. And just before we wind up, any plans for the future that we need to know about?
Well, at the moment, I am working pretty hard and doing a lot of late night recording sessions to try and finish a bunch of demos. I've shortlisted about 18 songs to record as demos, from which I'll try and whittle it down. And I'm not sure if it's going to be an EP or a full album that comes out of the process. But that's what I'm hoping to release. Obviously, probably not in the next couple of months. Things do take time. It takes time. So sometime early next year, hopefully the new release will be out. And then, yeah, I should start touring properly and that sort of thing.
Fantastic. That's so exciting. Well, please keep us posted, Rowan. I'm always very interested in seeing what you're doing, and it'll be nice to see you touring again, especially. We spoke about the song Survivors. Everyone's going to get to enjoy that one at the very end of the show. Such a catchy song. Every time I hear it on the radio, it gets stuck in my head, which is the point, I suppose. So we know you're an amazing and a brilliant songwriter, which is why I'm so happy I finally got to actually sit and talk to you, which is so exciting. But thank you so much for joining us, Rowan. And as I said, please keep us posted. It would be nice to have another catch-up like this maybe after you've toured so that we can see what new stuff you're doing.
Sure, I'll keep in touch and let you know when some new music is coming out, and we can chat about that.
Definitely. Awesome. Thanks, Rowan. All right, you guys saw it. Look him up. YouTube, Facebook, the whole works. So much talent, such brilliant music that's been written. Check it out, guys. And stick around. We've got more coming after this.
By Belita Gas & Braai fokus ons op ons kliënte. Vriendelike en doeltreffende diens is wat ons anders maak. Ons werk as 'n span met integriteit en deursigtigheid. Hier bied ons kliënte 'n onvergeetlike ervaring en werk ons met die beste belang van ons kliënt. Ons lewer nie net produkte aan ons kliënte nie, ons lewer ook 'n volledige diens, insluitend onderdele en tegniese ondersteuning.
To bring you your weekend vibes for the weekend. So what is happening? Starting today at Bootleggers, we will have Noel Johnson at 7 p.m. A little bit closer to home at the Simbiti Country Club at 5:30, Amy White will be entertaining us. Also in Salt Rock Direction in Caribou, 6 p.m. we have Paolo Barris. And then if you're going to be celebrating Diwali, you can go to Marigold at 6 p.m. I do believe bookings are essential, so make contact with them. Over at Hops, Johnny will be entertaining us. And also at Yami, this evening at 6:30, we will have Eleanor Chellin. Then moving on to Saturday, at the Ono Cafe at 1 p.m., we have Amy White back again. And at the Lagoon Bar, Carmen Rodriguez at 4 p.m. At the Sapphire Cove, 4 p.m., Sandy L will be there. And Sly, the very talented, will be at Hops. Moving on to Sunday, fun day. Back at the Bootleggers, Richie Red will be there at 1 p.m. And at the Atlaska and Westville, Don Seagreen will be there at 12:30. And at the Oven and Barrel at 1 p.m., Josh will be entertaining you from 1. And there will be karaoke. So get your dancing shoes on, pick up that mic and do some singing over at the Lagoon Bar with DJ Kurt from 4 p.m.
Then one of my favorite places to be on the weekend is Soul Sunday Sessions at Crusaders, kicking off at 1:30. This is free entrance, guys, and the best live entertainment you'll find in the area. You'll have Gary Nixon, Major Tom, and Distorting the Stiller. Then James will be entertaining us at Hops, but they're doing something a little different this week. James will actually be playing from 7 to 8 a.m. and again at 3 to 6 p.m. And I must probably get into trouble for saying this, but I must thank our dearly beloved Heili, who's sitting in the control room. A happiest of birthdays. Love you madly, my dear. Mwah. But now, this nearly brings us up to the end of our show, so I'm going to hand over to Taryn.
Thanks, Zoe. How much, means amazing amounts of entertainment this weekend.
Yes.
Isn't that fabulous?
Hardly enough room for me to fit it all in.
No. Are we going to be seeing you around this weekend?
Oh, well, I'm hoping to go visit a few of them myself.
Oh, yeah. Good. Hope to bump into
I don't
you
do
there.
much gigging myself these days. I prefer to actually have fun in the audience.
Be the one finally dancing and not the one entertaining.
For years I haven't been able to do that. Now I can get my jam on.
Love it. You deserve it, though.
I know. It'll be so much fun.
We just want to thank so much. Thank you to our viewers, sponsors, and guests for being with us in studio today. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for everyone watching online. Without you, none of this is possible. It's finally weekend. Wishing you all a super, super weekend, and we will see you bright and early Monday morning at 6 a.m. Have a super weekend. Keep well.
Crowds with strangers, I can't relate. Cities burning, so much hate. A world gone crazy, I felt alone, like the last one. Then through the fallout, choking on the ash cloud, suddenly you called out, take my hand. And from the dust you showed me I could trust you. Now I know it's just you and I till the end. Like we were the last two survivors in a scorched world. Don't know how I found you, but you know I'll fight for you, girl. Like we were the last two survivors in a scorched world. Don't know how I found you, but you know I'll fight for you, girl. Wander through the waste, search for shelter, a safer place. By night we'd listen, locked in embrace, just remembering. When through the fallout, choking on the ash cloud, suddenly you called out, take my hand. And from the dust you showed me I could trust you. Now I know it's just you and I till the end. Like we were the last two survivors in a scorched world. Don't know how I found you, but you know I'll fight for you, girl. Like we were the last two survivors in a scorched world. Don't know how I found you, but you know I'll fight for you, girl. Choking on the ash cloud, suddenly you called out, take my hand. And from the dust you showed me I could trust you. Now I know it's just you and I till the end. Like we were the